Yes. Get 10.
Order the Culver County School Board regular meeting. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Just a reminder that this meeting is being recorded, and by sitting here and staying, you are consenting to that being archived on the school's YouTube page, I believe. If there is anyone here that plans to speak who hasn't signed in, please do so. And then is there anybody who's not on the regular agenda who would like to share any comments tonight? All right, so it brings us to our presentation for tonight. Karen, why don't you provide us some context of what the board is going to hear?
So every year we do a safety committee and a safety update to our safety plan. So Josh is our state approved advanced safety officer. And then Riley's also our chief of police. So they're both here tonight to say about the updated plan.
The floor is yours. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. So you guys remember last year we were here, we brought the giant binder of the corporation safety plan. We've updated that. Updates for you, we do now scheduled trainings with all staff members. We break it out by group so we can address particular areas. We did secretary office staff, maintenance custodians, did a day of new teacher things. We did a teacher staff meeting. We met with the food service and the bus drivers, all individually by their area of expertise, so we could address particular items that they wanted to talk to about school safety wise. Felt like those meetings went very well. Our vocabulary when it comes to school safety is becoming very common to them when it comes to our ALICE trainings and some of our procedural things. So year two, much smoother than as we introduced everything new last year. Biggest change school safety wise, we had a state mandate this year. We had to add a component to our school safety plan, which Karen's throwing up there, called behavioral threat assessment. This is, there's lots of legal terminology out there. I'm gonna throw my spin at it. As a school, we have to have a plan to address anytime there's a verbal threat, a social media threat, or a perceived threat to the corporation in any way. This plan that we have in place outlines our process, and what we try to do is make it fact-based. We have a process of interview forms, ways to direct our thinking on how we can gather the most information about any perceived threat. If you look down, I believe it's 5th or 6th bullet, biggest piece of this is us making a quick determination of, do they pose a threat to anyone in our environment? There are situations we're dealing with kids from age 4 to 18 where things come out that could be perceived as a threat. There's a difference in terminology in making a threat verbally and posing a threat physically to people. This process allows us to try to quickly determine that. And then as we break it down, we have a flow chart a little deeper in that allows us to push to the right direction on how we're going to handle it. We're going to treat anything of that magnitude, with importance. It just determines on, is it Riley important on the security police side, or is it me important on the discipline side of, did you verbally say something you shouldn't have said? The plan goes all the way through a list of interviews. We have teams developed for each building of administrators, the PD, special education teachers and guidance counselors. We've met with all of these people on the process of how we're going to interview, how we're going to document. And then this flow chart leads us through the process of, you see the yes, no side. Do they pose a threat, or no, they made the threat? When you see the yes side, all of those little boxes on the right-hand side, those are all hyperlinked documents for us to use for documentation purposes. It's a big process. But again, this is state mandated. Every school has to do it. We have to be able to show this documentation in the event that something like this happens. Yeah.
I just want to add, this continues to coincide with what we do every day. Our intent and our purpose is to have the rapport that we do with our kids. To Josh's point, from 4 years old to our 18-year-olds. Having that rapport, knowing our students by name. I know that there was a gentleman a couple different times on the first day of school, like, oh my gosh, where was he from? His principal never knew his name. And so that is a huge testament to what these guys do, and they are intentional of knowing our students, knowing their backgrounds, knowing, are we dealing with emotional and intellectual issues? Are we, going down a rabbit trail that dictates, what are motives and goals for a potential threat, to something as simple as just inappropriate interest and needs redirected. So again, all of us are very intentional of knowing those dynamics, knowing the background. So as to his point, we take it very seriously and we don't just shrug it off, but it directs us in a timeless tissue of how are we going to pursue. Is this a Brett and Josh thing immediately, or is it moving as Brian and Riley? So again, a formality, but Josh has put a lot of work into getting this set up for us to make it very smooth and effective with all the folks that are on the team. Again, it's a state mandated thing, but we have, as I said, coincided with what we're already doing. This is just more of an edification of, yes, we are checking the big box, but ultimately this is already what we're doing and it's already taken seriously. And we're always looking, what is the capacity of something like this coming to fruition? So very self-explanatory, if you will.
One thing I would add is both sides of this end with an intervention or support plan for the kid. This isn't our intention, just to make this disciplinary or law enforcement involved. It ends with an intervention or what we call support plan for the student, so we can try to put some things in place to help them grow and avoid these types of situations with check-ins or services anywhere to help them.
Well, follow-up, the safety grant is open right now and we're getting ready to submit our application. Hannah and Riley are working on that. And
This is a different one. Homeland Security.
Homeland Security, I'm
We're
sorry,
waiting to hear back from the schools,
the
the
first
original
one.
one.
And then Homeland Security will allow us to get further deeper into our safety plans, equipment or needs.
Which I said stuff already over there.
Yeah.
So.
Josh, could you share any common themes or questions that come up when you meet with the individual teams? Are there any common themes that they're bringing up and asking questions that year 2 now, they've had some training, and anything that you're hearing that's common?
I won't say there's common themes. I think this year, one of the common themes we approached, and I think we got more buy-in on, was everyone wearing this. Having teachers become a little more observant in hallways of people without badges or people that they didn't recognize that aren't our staff. That raised some questions about what do I do in that situation. I've noticed gentlemen in the hallway, don't know if they're a contractor, don't know if there's something else, they don't have a badge, they don't have a visitor's badge, what should I do? Good conversation about that.
Any other questions or comments from board members?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Hey, Josh and Riley, you mentioned just about like a box. We know that you have to do it, but we also know that the time that it takes to build relationships, of course, and the touch points that it takes to do that. And you're doing it because you care about kids, we care about kids, and that's the why. That's what drives it. So appreciate that. Just want you to know from us. Just real appreciation for you making sure this is all buttoned up the way it needs to be. So thank you. Okay, we'll move to, well, do you want to chat a little bit about
Just,
enrollment?
give you an update on enrollment. Elementary is up 40 from last year. And then high school is pretty much steady of what it was last year. We did add the new building trades class, and we are up 10 extra students in that category. And along with dental, we have other schools adding to our dental program and our CTE programs. So just wanted to give that little feedback, and anything from you guys on enrollment or?
A lot of new faces, a lot of
Yeah.
new students this year.
And then the iRead scores were released. It was no different than the presentation that you heard previously on the iRead scores and where we're at with that. So that was just those two things.
Thank you. We're gonna head to consent items. Josh and Riley, you're welcome to hang around as long as you want, but also you can head out if you want to. So Karen, why don't you walk us through our consent items for tonight?
So the approval of tonight's agenda, the minutes from July 21st, and then our financials for July and all the payroll and accounts payable vouchers. 2 field trips. There are no professional leave requests at this time. We had 2 resignations, one from a special ed teacher at the elementary and one from the cafeteria. We are recommending for hire people to replace the cafeteria workers at the high school and to replace aides that are at the elementary. These are replacing people who shifted positions. Rehiring our fall interpreters because they are a year to year. Recommending a new girls basketball coach with the resignation of our other girls basketball coach. So recommending AJ Neese, recommending Brian Martin as our swim coach, and Alyssa Bailey as the middle school cheer coach, and continuing Autumn Schlarb's adjunct teacher as she moves through her studies to become a teacher. And then asking for Deanne Carr to transfer from the middle school, high school down to the elementary to replace Emily Keitzner, who left us. We are posting that position, but this is to keep us going as we are. And then shifting Patty Harrell to a pre-K aide and Madison Bonine to a special education aide to cover those positions. And then requesting the summer curriculum stipend for a group of teachers who came and worked on science and social studies curriculum for a week's time. And then we have a donation for negative lunch accounts in the amount of $2,000.
I move to approve the consent items as presented.
Second.
Thanks, Mark. Having a motion and proper second, is there any further discussion on the consent items? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Consent items carried 6-0 this evening. All right, roll your sleeves, Brett, policy time.
So these are the second read of our July 25 policy update. So read it on this point and then approve them, or we can continue to a third read if needed.
Move to approve the July 2025 policy updates as presented.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Jack. Having a proper motion and second, any discussion? No one wants to touch 2221 or 2414? All right. Hearing none, then those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The policy items carry 6-0.
And then we have some technology equipment that is obsolete so that we can begin to disregard that equipment.
I move to approve the technology equipment of obsolete items as presented.
Thanks, Jack.
I'll second.
Thanks, Jared. Having a proper motion, seconds, any further discussion on the obsolete technology equipment items? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Action item carries 6-0.
And then as we move into planning for the budget of 2026 and beyond, the first thing is to advertise our capital project plan and our bus replacement plan. So seeking permission to advertise those.
I move to approve to advertise the CPF and bus replacement plans.
Thanks, Terry.
Second.
Thanks, Jack. Having a proper motion and second, any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Action item carries 6-0.
And then we also, for budget purposes, need to release Form 3 to DGLF. You know, Casey wanted me to quiz you if you knew what DGLF.
Department of Local Finance. Thanks, Mark. Got a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Terry. Having a proper motion and second, any further discussion on releasing Form 3? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Action item carries 6-0.
Awesome, thank you for that. Just some reminders, September 15th and 16th is the conference. We have a dinner scheduled with Performance Services on the Sunday, and then with Brown & Brown on Monday. And then the delegate assembly time was changed. Jack, did you get that email?
Yes.
Okay, good deal. And then September 1 is Labor Day, so that meeting is canceled unless you want to attend. And then we're moving the 15th meeting to the 22nd because of the conference.
Thank you, Karen. Casey's not here. Anything in her place?
Nope, she just, you passed.
Tell her Jack got it right. Any thoughts from board members? Mark, anything, Terry? Okay. We haven't had a board meeting since you guys started school, so congratulations for getting it going here now, almost a full weekend, and wish you all the best. All right, this board meeting is adjourned. We were terrible last time at signing things, so we got off the game a little bit. That side.
Yeah,